Hi, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We hope everyone's having a good week so far. This is the FPL team selection video for game week 16. So, welcome everyone, and yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about game week 16. It is the final week, the final game week before the World Cup break. So, maybe this break is needed. So, maybe some people want to take a pause for the FPL season, and then we can enjoy some football over the festive period as well. So it should be good. But before we start, Jordan, how you doing? Is everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. Hope everyone else is having a wonderful week so far. It has been an interesting season indeed. It is probably best to have a break and just relax from all the unpredictable madness that's happened.
Yeah, we're going to get into it all and give you guys our team selections and transfers and all that sort of stuff. We've got Elliot in the chat. Yo, what's good, guys? Hope you're well, Elliot. We're good. Hope you're good. And yeah, let's speak about game week 15 very quickly and talk about how we did in game week 15. So I'll bring up my team first. Now, game week 15, another strange week. I did get a green arrow. So in that sense, it was a positive one, getting a small green arrow. But yeah, let's discuss. So I had Ward in goal, who did get me the clean sheet. Leicester's 2-0 win. Ward does it again, another clean sheet for him after his poor start to the season. Leicester have been churning out a few more clean sheets quite recently. So I'm happy to see Ward get the clean sheet points for me there. Fabian Schär only got me 2 points. Newcastle did concede late on, which was annoying. And we know what Trippier, he went off as a sub. So he ended up getting the clean sheet points. And obviously Schär didn't, which was quite annoying for me. Trent Alexander-Arnold got me 2 points. They did concede again to Spurs. They won the game, but 2-1. I wasn't confident for Liverpool to keep a clean sheet, and that's what it turned out. Spurs were maybe unfortunate to score another one in that game. Maybe Liverpool were a bit fortunate, but, yeah, blank there. Cancelo was one of the big talking points of that weekend, game week 15, and he did get the red card sent off for the last man, taking down Harry Wilson, I believe. So -2 points. Gurhi, nothing interesting. 2 points as well, blanked. Moving on to the midfield 5, I had Salah, who did get the goal, the 2 goals, 2 brilliant finishes against Tottenham Hotspur, and he comes away with 15 points, which I was very, very happy to see from Salah after holding him for weeks. De Bruyne got me the assist for 7 points. It could have been a lot better. Going into game week 15, I did bring De Bruyne in for a hit for Zaha. Obviously, that didn't pay off because Zaha went and got a goal and an assist, whereas De Bruyne only got the assist. So 7 points, slightly frustrating because I did expect big things from De Bruyne in that game. But we know with the red card, he slightly changed the game in City's favour. And I thought they did. Obviously, we know Fulham just defended pretty much the whole entire game. Andreas did take the penalty for Fulham. Fulham did lose, but Andreas, with no Mitrovic on the pitch, Andreas became penalty taker and he did dispatch. So 6 points for Andreas. Saka got the assist against Chelsea for the corner. So he got me the 5 points. Martinelli blanked, or didn't get an attack in return, but he got the clean sheet point. So we take that, 3 points from him. And the star man of my team for game week 15 was Julian Alvarez, who I bought in for Haaland. And he actually goes ahead and scores and gets the 3 bonus points as well, getting me 18 points for game week 15, which I was delighted about, But the only problem is Haaland came on and then scores a penalty, which pretty much wipes out Alvarez as a differential, because when you bring in a player like Alvarez as a differential captain and he goes and scores, you're buzzing. But Haaland coming on and scoring that penalty kind of ruined my game week in a sense, because he basically essentially wiped out the differential, because Haaland was so highly owned by the people in the top 10K anyway. So the Alvarez punt, as good as it was, it didn't really have the effect that it could have if Haaland did blank. So that was a bit annoying. And then so on the bench, I had Guaita, Mitrovic. Obviously, we know he didn't play. Doherty, and then Greenwood, we know what he did, goal and an assist. Got me the 9 points on the bench. Small green arrow up to 1.3 million is my rank currently. Total points was 64 points. But as you know, I did bring in De Bruyne and Alvarez. So I took a -4. So all in all, it is only 60 points for me this week because of the hit. So that is the game week 15 team, guys, of what we did last week. So I thought we'd quickly do a recap. Jordan, let's bring up your team for game week 15. Just talk us through how you did in game week 15, basically.
Okay, so we start off with the goalkeeper, Raya, who was against Nottingham Forest. Unfortunately, it was a draw. It was 1-1, so Raya didn't keep a clean sheet in that game, and therefore got 2 points. A bit of a very lacklustre game for Brentford again, but yeah, we'll see what they can do against Man City next. Moving on to the back four, we have the defender, the best defender at the moment in fantasy, who is Trippier. Another double haul of 12 points, the clean sheet, the assist, and the bonus free. So all in all, he has returned yet again, Trippier, and is absolutely wrecking the points at the moment for a defender. Next, we got Anderson, who got the 2 points. Crystal Palace did concede, but won the game 2-1. But obviously not clean sheet for Anderson this time round. Obviously, we spoke about Cancelo, who did get the red card for tackling Callum Wilson in that game. So he did get sent off and got
Oh,
the
no, you
minus.
mean Harry Wilson.
Oh, sorry, Harry Wilson. That wrong Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got sent off with the red card and got the -2. Finally, we've got Nico Williams, who does come on for Mitrovic, and he got 1 point in that game because obviously they drew with Brentford, and he did come on late as well, as he didn't start in that game as well. So that's the defence. Pretty much went through. We move on to the midfield. So with a bit of luck, actually, this is Zaha with a 12 point, another double haul in my team. It was quite fortunate because he was on for 7 points until the very end of the game, where he did get an assist from the second Crystal Palace goal. So he did finish with 12 points at the end, getting the bonus free at the end with that extra assist, giving him the bonus free. So that was a pretty nice return from Zaha after holding him for this long and obviously blanking in between. But as he does come back with 12 points from me, and that's pretty good. Moving on to Martinelli. Obviously, he blanked, but he did get the clean sheet point in that game. Another blank from Martinelli, but there's probably more to come in game week 16 from him. Saka got the assist and got the 5 points. Bit unfortunate. He could have potentially got the goal in that, but ended up getting the assist instead. But it was nice to see Saka getting a return in that game nonetheless. Next, we got Salah, who got the 15-point haul. And yeah, this is quite a fortunate thing to happen, because if Haaland wasn't flagged, I probably wouldn't have Salah in my team at this moment in game week 15. So I was kind of blessed that because Haaland was flagged, I had to keep Salah in my team, that I was rewarded with the 15 points. So at the end of holding Salah for all this time, it has paid off. A lot of people will say that the second goal was lucky from Eric Dyer's mistake, but at the end of the day, it is 2 goals from Salah, and that's what matters most. And finally, we got Bowen, who I did transfer in for -4 in game week 15. Unfortunately, he didn't pay off in the Crystal Palace game, only getting 4 points for the captaincy. Obviously, it was a blank from Bowen, but hopefully against Leicester in game week 16, he can get something. And finally, this is my second transfer, which led to the -4. This was for Darwin Núñez, who did assist Salah's first goal early on in the game, which was a very nice return for Darwin and a very high rank game, as Darwin was low owned. It was a very nice 7-pointer from him, which did help with my rank, even though it didn't really move it much when Haaland did score. But at the time, it was a great return from Darwin after bringing him in. So that's pretty much my starting 11 and how it went. I'll quickly go through my team bench, as there isn't much to talk about, as it looks like a traffic light. But we have got Ward, who got 6 points. And obviously, Mitrovic was injured, didn't play. Tony was suspended and didn't play. And Fofana was injured. So those 3 players didn't feature in the match and got 0 points. But overall, my rank was a slight green arrow, jumping up from 1.1 million from being 1.2, I believe, last game week. So a slight green arrow. Could have been a bit more if Haaland didn't score. But at the end, I got a total 61 points with the -4. That is 57 in total. So not such a bad week for me, but it could have been better, obviously. But we'll see what happens in obviously game week 16.
Okay, so 2 small green arrows for both of us. That was a game week 15 out of the way. Let's move on to game week 16 because this is a game week 16 team selection. So let's show how we're lining up for game week 16 and talk about our transfer plans. So yeah, guys, this is how I'm lining up for game week 16. In goal, I've got Guaita, who's got a nice fixture against Nottingham Forest away. Hopefully, Palace can keep a clean sheet in that one. Then I've got a back 4. I am playing a back 4 of Trent, who's got a nice fixture at home to Southampton. Hopefully, Liverpool can bounce back in terms of clean sheets because they haven't kept many clean sheets recently. And hopefully, Liverpool can keep one against Southampton at home, which is a good fixture, you'll say, for Liverpool and Trent himself. And hopefully, it's like I'm waiting every week for a Trent attacking return. And I'm hoping we finally get one in this game week 16. So we'll see. Moving on, I've got Fabian Schär, who I also have in my team. He's got Chelsea at home. Now, probably not a great fixture, but it looks like I probably will have to play him in that one because obviously I don't have Trippier. And then Mark Gurhey, who's got Nottingham Forest away. He's going to probably play in my team this week as well. Double Palace defense. Hopefully Gurhey can come up with something in that game because Palace haven't been keeping clean sheets, not that many clean sheets recently. Cancelo is back, so don't sell Cancelo, guys. He is going to be available for game week 16 after his red card, after he missed the Carling Cup match yesterday when they won 2-0 against Chelsea. So he's back for game week 16, and Cancelo is in my team, who's got a nice fixture against Brentford at home. Moving on to the midfield 4, I have Salah, who does have the captain's armband on him currently, and he's got Southampton at home, which is another good fixture for him and for Liverpool. And I'm quite happy to have Salah for this week because I think he could, do well this week because I think it's a nice fixture for him. And I expect Liverpool have now won 2 or 3 games in the bounce, and maybe Liverpool coming back on form a bit. Salah is definitely looking a bit better compared to how he was at the start of the season. So maybe the confidence is, after the 2 goals against Spurs, he looking a bit better, and hopefully he can punish Southampton, who haven't been great. Got Saka and Martinelli have got the double Arsenal attack. They have Wolves away, which is another nice fixture for Arsenal. We know Arsenal are flying high at the moment in time. They're playing very well, both of them. And I'm very happy to hold, Saka and Martinelli for this one. And I think they are potentially good players to hold for the final game week before the World Cup. I've also got De Bruyne in my team, who has Brentford at home. It's another good fixture for Man City and De Bruyne. After De Bruyne's 1 assist last week against Fulham, I am hoping he can pick up a lot more points in this fixture before we do break up for the World Cup. So let's see De Bruyne. I'm happy to hold him. There is an argument I could go De Bruyne captain, but I think I just prefer Salah over De Bruyne at this moment in time. But what I say about De Bruyne, I think De Bruyne is potentially one of those players that can pop off in this game, maybe with a couple of assists and hopefully a goal or 2. But the big elephant in the room is, as you'll see by Bailey Play's comment, why have you not got Haaland? Well, I actually transferred out Haaland in game week 15 last week, and I bought in Julian Alvarez and captained him. And now I will come on to my transfer plans, but for now, De Bruyne is in my team. Up front, I've got Mitrovic, who is currently flagged, and I believe Mitrovic will actually miss that game against Manchester United on the weekend because of the injury he has, and he's a doubt. So I am worried about Mitrovic, and he's potentially on the chopping block to go out my team. I've got Alvarez up front as well, who I did bring in last week, and I captained him. He did score, but the worry with Alvarez is he actually going to play? Because Haaland is now fully back from injury, and I expect Haaland to start against Brentford. So, which probably means Alvarez won't play. Now, Pep Guardiola has come out with a few comments saying Alvarez and Haaland could both start together, which does obviously is a good news for me if they do, but it's a slight risk. I don't know. I'm not sure he'll start, but we'll see. And on the bench, I've got Ward, Andreas, Doherty, and Greenwood. I have 2.6 million in the bank as well, and I have one free transfer. So currently, if I'm just looking at my team, the plan is, guys, to take out Mitrovic because he's flagged. So what I had in mind was I removed Mitrovic from my team. Obviously, I have 2.6 million in the bank, and I can upgrade to Darwin Núñez, which will give me double Liverpool attack as well. Now, this is the current plan, to do Mitrovic out, Darwin Núñez in, who has a nice fixture at Southampton at home as well. Bit of a differential as well, because obviously Darwin's ownership isn't that high. But as this comment says, I am worried that I don't have Haaland in my team. So I'm not completely against bringing Haaland in for a -4 though. So what I could do, I could take De Bruyne out for someone like a Foden, and then instead of bringing in Darwin, I bring in Haaland. So I could bring in a Haaland still, but that would require a -4. And the reason, obviously, I'm not sure about doing it, about bringing Haaland in, is which comes back to this question. Elliot says, what to do this week, Haas? Do we get Haaland back for a -4? And I am in the same exact boat. Do I bring Haaland in for a -4? It's hard to say, is it worth bringing in Haaland for a -4? Because usually I would say probably not, because it's Haaland and we know the devastating impact he has when he scores. And if I don't have him and he goes ahead and scores a hat-trick, which he definitely can, guys, I would not be surprised if he goes and scores a hat-trick against Brentford, because he's proven time and time again he could do it against anyone, really. So I'm not going to say no to that, Elliot. I've considered it myself, and come the deadline stream on Saturday, I might still be open to a -4 for Haaland. I probably will do it. But at the moment, if I'm not taking a hit, I'll probably just do Darwin in. But if I was to take a -4, I'll probably do Mitrovic to Haaland and then downgrade De Bruyne to Foden if I hear Foden starts. Now, Man City is the early fixture on Saturday, so we should hear some leaks. Now, if we get leaks that Haaland and Foden are starting, I'd be tempted to take the -4 if I'm being honest. So, as Damien says, will you risk waiting for team news before transfer of Haaland? Exactly this. So, do tune in, guys, on the deadline stream on Saturday, and if we get any murmurings of Haaland definitely starting along with Foden, I'll probably take the -4. But at the moment, the planned transfer was Mitrovic to Darwin. But I am very, very scared, obviously, of Haaland, knowing what he can do. And if I don't captain him, I am worried that if he goes and scores a hat-trick, he'll probably ruin my rank. So I'm not against the -4. I know a lot of people are in this boat as me. I'm not the only person without Haaland. A lot of people did get rid of Haaland because of his injury in the past couple of weeks. And I'm not going to say it's a bad move if you did want to take a -4. I wouldn't be against it personally. So that's my opinion on Haaland -4. I would probably still do it if I could. But that's my plans, guys. So Haaland and Foden in for a -4 if I hear both of them going to start. If I hear otherwise, I'll probably just do Mitrovic to Darwin. So I hope that is explain my plans for game week 16. Jordan, let's move on to your team for game week 16. And just talk us through your team and your transfer plans.
Okay, so here is how my game week 16 team is looking like. So we'll start off with the goalkeeper, who is Ward, who I've played for the very first time since I transferred in my team, as I've always put him on the bench over Raya. But because Raya has Man City away, I think obviously Ward has the better fixture, which is West Ham away. So I will be starting him as my goalkeeper in game week 16. And this is typically where he doesn't get a clean sheet after getting 4 in a row for Leicester. So we'll see what happens in obviously that game. Hopefully he can keep another clean sheet and keep the streak going. for the last week. Next we have the back three. Obviously, this is the standard three I've been rolling with through the weeks. But we've got Trippier, who's got Chelsea at home, which looks like a good fixture, especially the way Chelsea played last game week. It didn't look great at all against Arsenal. I think they looked very poor. And obviously, I think Newcastle can potentially win that game and maybe keep a clean sheet. So Trippier could be looking at a double haul potentially, especially if he gets an assist as well from that game or goal. Next, we've got Anderson, who's got Nottingham Forest away. You would expect Crystal Palace to keep a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest, just the way they've been this season, conceding a lot of goals, not scoring many at all. But hopefully, Crystal Palace can end this game week on a clean sheet. Finally, we've got Cancelo, who's got Brentford at home. Yeah, obviously, he is playing in the next game unless Pep decides to have other plans for Cancelo. But I'm sure he'll play him for the Brentford at home fixture, which looks really good as well. Potentially a clean sheet in that game too. So that's the back three defence talked about. We move on to the congested midfielder selections of 5, starting with Zaha, who's got Nottingham Forest away. This is what I've been holding Zaha for this fixture in game week 16. I think he can have a great game, despite it being an away fixture. I think Zaha can potentially get another double haul potentially in this game, especially with Nottingham Forest conceding a lot of goals to teams. Crystal Palace being an attacking team as well, I do think Zaha can put some away behind them. Next, we got Martinelli and Saka, the double Arsenal attack, who both have Wolves away. And another good fixture for Arsenal to end on game week 16 and potentially end the being the top of the table if they can win against Wolves away and hold that place. It'll be a perfect win for them before the World Cup obviously begins. And yeah, I definitely expect a lot from Martinelli and Saka to do well in that fixture. Next, we've got Salah, who has got the captain man over him, and he has Southampton at home. We have seen Liverpool actually improve in the attacking sense. They have gotten better. Maybe not defensively. They're getting there, but not quite there yet. But we have seen improvements for Liverpool in the past few games, especially winning more now. Bit hard, the Tottenham game. It looked like at times they could have lost that, but they did manage to hang on and win 2-1. And that was also followed by goals from Salah, obviously, and an assist from Darwin. But yeah, Salah is my captain choice. The Southampton at home fixture looks good. And besides everyone else in my team, I think he is the standout captain. Finally, we got Bowen, who has Leicester at home. He did blank against Crystal Palace. I do hope that he can get something against Leicester at home. He hasn't had the greatest season so far, though. I think only getting a 12-digit return, and I think that's about it. I think he got an assist as well. But apart from that, he hasn't really done much this season. And I do hope for West Ham. They have been struggling for goals, but at some point, Bowen has to get something, and I'm hoping it's against Leicester at home. Even though they've looked defensively better, Leicester, I do hope Bowen can at least get an assist or something from that game. So that's the midfield spoken about. I'll talk about the two forwards up front. So we've got Mitrovic, who we've spoken about, who is flagged with an ankle injury and will probably not feature in the Man United at home fixture. So this is the priority transfer, obviously, is Mitrovic, as he won't be starting in that Man United at home fixture. He probably won't be fit enough to start. So yeah, he'll be the priority. And finally, we got Darwin Núñez, who I did transfer in game week 15. He did get an assist, which was nice, and he has Southampton at home. So that's another great fixture. I do like the double Liverpool attack solely for this game week, especially with the fixture they have. So that is pretty much my starting 11 talked about. On my team bench, I've got Raya, who's got Man City away. Difficult fixture. And same with Tony. Another difficult fixture for both of them. I don't expect much. And obviously, Nico Williams, he's got Crystal Palace at home. And Fofana's got Newcastle away, but he's injured, so he won't be playing in that game either. So with all of that explained and talked about, I do have one free transfer and 1.3 million in the bank. So I've got a little bit of money to use on the player that I want to take out, and that's probably an obvious move because Mitrovic won't be playing in that Man United fixture, so he will be the transfer I will be making. So this is pretty much an easy decision I've made for this transfer. I haven't really given any other thought of other players, but I am taking Mitrovic out my team. And who I'm bringing in is Jesus. So I will be going with triple Arsenal attack. There is a few reasons for this. You may obviously know one reason is because I don't have Haaland in my team, as I did transfer him out for a -4. So for the reason of bringing Jesus in, he's sort of the player to, let's say, mitigate if Haaland does manage to get a return. Because I do hope if Jesus does get a return, he is a high-owned player as well. So that could, in a way, help if Jesus manages to get something as well as Haaland, as the red arrow may not be as damaging if I get a return from Jesus, that is. So that is the general explanation of why I've picked Jesus as well, but also because of the fixture. I mean, Arsenal have Wolves away, which Wolves don't really score many goals, and they're more of a defensive team. But on the other hand, you've got Arsenal who are having probably the best attack in the Premier League at the moment, and it just looks great having triple Arsenal in that last, obviously last game week. So it is what we imagined we would have, as well as triple Man City, which I don't have, as I just have Cancelo,
Yeah.
which is a bit scary for me.
I was going to say, are you worried at all going in potentially with no City attacking players when they've got Brentford at home?
Oh, absolutely. I'll probably be hiding behind the sofa when I see the Man City game. But I just have to hope and pray that Man City don't go completely nuts in that game, and hopefully Arsenal can, just to outweigh the the benefits of the rank gain. But yeah, I will be hoping that Arsenal does well and Man City don't do as well unless they get a clean sheet. Obviously, that would be perfect. But yeah, that is my transfer plans. Obviously, that is one free transfer that I'll be
Okay.
making from Darwin to not Darwin, Mitrovic to Jesus.
Okay, so that's your team out the way for game week 16. I'm going to read a few of your comments out that I've missed. So sorry, guys, not missed any comments. Always come back at the end and try answer your questions. And if you haven't, guys, as always, please do drop a like on the stream. It really, really helps the channel out. So if you can like, and if you haven't already, please also subscribe to the channel. And I also want to say a big shout out to all the ones that have subscribed to us recently. But yeah, please do drop a like as it always helps out. Helps us out. Ara says KDB to Kulusevski, Alvarez to Haaland for a -4. I like this move actually. I would be tempted to do something like this. I know I don't really want to take another -4 because I've took a lot of -4s recently, but I think I like that move just because if you're gonna captain Haaland, then yeah, I think it could work. So I wouldn't be against this. And we know Tottenham also have quite a nice fixture, even though Tottenham aren't looking that great at this moment in time. But we know Kulusevski's back and he does add a lot to Tottenham's attack. So I wouldn't be against it. Elliot says servers will crash again. Oh, it better not this time around. You never know. It probably will.
Yeah, probably. If Haaland's involved again, then you just know it's going to crash again.
Yeah. Nanjay, hey guys, big green arrows for everyone before the World Cup. Come on, yeah, hopefully this week another green arrow in game week 16. Salem Ahmed, welcome to the channel. Bowen to Zaha and Alvarez to Nunez -4. Yeah, I like that as well. I like those moves. I'd be tempted to do Bowen to Foden actually. I'd prefer Foden in if you can, because if Foden does start, which he should start, and hopefully we hear some early team news, I think Foden is actually one of the best game week 16 punts. Or I don't know if he's really a punt because he is quite highly owned, isn't he? What's Foden's ownership at? I'm just going to double check. But if there's any player out there that you want just for that 1 week, if he's starting, I do think Foden is potentially a great pick against Brentford at home. So I'd do Bowen to Foden and then Alvarez to Nunes, in my opinion. But yeah, do you care about overall cup? Not really. I don't really care for it, to be honest. Only the overall rank, I guess. But I know some people do, but maybe not for me. Got a comment here from FPL Boo Boo. Do you want to take this one, Jordan?
Yep. Benrahma to Rashford or Justin to Ake/Laporte. I'll probably do the one that's Justin to Laporte. Yeah, I do prefer the Man City move instead of the Man United one, just because the fixture for Man United is away, and their last away game they didn't look great at all, Man United. So I'll probably be safe to go with Laporte instead.
I mean, obviously, Justin, for those that don't know, Justin has been ruled out by Brendan Rodgers for the rest of the season. He's got a Achilles injury, which is quite serious. And yeah, it looks like Justin's going to miss the rest of the season, which is unfortunate. So, yeah, that's very unlucky for Justin. 'Cause now it's, I think, 2 serious injuries for him, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I'd probably do Benrahma. Benrahma's got a nice fixture, hasn't he, though, against Leicester?
Yeah, he did score last match against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I mean, I like Foden, as I said. I think Foden's a good pick this week if he starts, and hopefully we get a leak or something, as we have in recent weeks with Man City being the early kickoff. I think so. I'll probably hold. I mean, Rashford, strange one, isn't he, Rashford? I think Martial's back as well. Manchester United actually play kickoff in half an hour, and I believe Martial's starting up front. So if you want to go for a Man United player on a punt, I think Anthony Martial, maybe watch out what he does today, or tonight, I should say. Man United are kicking off against Aston Villa. So I'll have a keen eye on Martial, whose ownership is at 0.2%. No, sorry, 0.7%. And he's only 6.7 million forward. So maybe Martial could be a nice differential in a 1 week punt, guys. And which moves us on to this comment. Who do you guys think is the best very low owned 1 week punt?
My player I would pick is Kulusevski, who's someone else who was mentioned in the chat earlier on. And as soon as Kulusevski came on in that Liverpool game, it was an instant response in terms of Spurs attack. Like, it changed the game when Kulusevski came on, assisting Kane's goal as soon as he came on the pitch. He is absolutely a great option for a low-owned 1 week punt, I think, because he does have Leeds at home as well. So it is a good fixture for Spurs.
And he also did get kind of rested in the midweek when obviously yesterday Spurs did lose to Nottingham Forest. But I believe Kulusevski was on the bench and he came on. So Kulusevski should start against that Leeds fixture on game week 16. And I agree as well with Kulusevski. I think he's a great pick. His ownership is only 3.9% as well, so very low owned. And I think he's a good 1 week punt. Another player I like, which is very, very low. Maybe it's a reactionary, but I don't know, because he did score game week 15. And that is Mitoma for Brighton. Now, he's not someone that's on anyone's radar, really. I really like him, and I think he is an interesting player. He's only 4.9 million. His ownership is 0.1%, so no one basically has him in their team. He did get an assist against Chelsea in game week 14, and then in game week 15, he got a goal against Wolves. So Mitoma for Brighton, the winger, interesting player, and I think is a super, super differential. If you're feeling very punty, you could go for someone like him who has a fixture against Aston Villa at home. Obviously, we know Aston Villa look like they have improved under Unai Emery, but Mitoma's one to watch out on. But, I'd still go Kulusevski over Mitoma. If you're looking for very, very low-owned players, I still prefer a Kulusevski. Just looking at the fixtures as well, what other punts are there, Jordan? I mean, we've said Kulusevski. Mitoma is one I've thrown in there.
You could probably say Rodrigo for Leeds, even though the fixture is against Spurs. Because Bamford is flagged now, I don't think he'll be playing against Spurs, so that does give Rodrigo that
Mm,
attacking role back again after he did get double hauls when Bamford was injured at the start of the season.
yeah.
And he did score a penalty, I believe, last game week, so he is the penalty taker if there is one uh, to be taken for Leeds as well.
Yeah, that's true as well. You could go there. Um, Obviously, Nunes, obviously, is a lot more obvious. Darwin Nunes, his ownership's at 8.4%, so still a differential. Nunes has a fixture against Southampton at home. He should start. And I think Nunes is a good pick as well for 1 week if you want to go there. But yeah, those are our thoughts on a few differentials. Let us know what you guys think anyway on players that you're looking to bring in for a 1 week punt. Chief says, Jordan, you're crazy to bet on Jesus like that over Haaland. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you can't even get to Haaland, right, with the money.
Not straight with a 1-3 transfer, no, it
Yeah.
has to be a -4, which I'm not looking to do because I just took a -4 to take Harden out. And I believe crazy times call for crazy measures, Chief. I think this will be a big risk, but I'm willing to take it just in hope that Harden somehow blanks.
Mm. Elliot says, how about Delo to Perisic for free? Captain Salah KDB. Um, I'm not sure about Perisic, because I know against Liverpool, he did play basically alongside Harry Kane, but I'm not so sure he's going to do that again against Leeds because Kulusevski is going to start, right? And I'm not sure that Perisic will play as further forward. Let me know if you guys agree with me or not, but I'm not sure on Perisic because, yeah, as I mentioned, does he start further forward? I'm not so sure.
No, I don't think he will. I think that's only because of obviously Spurs have a lot of injuries. Like Richarlison is injured, Son is injured. Kulusevski was obviously not well. He was fine because he came on, but Spurs do have a lot of injuries in terms of the attacking amount of players. So I think Conte, the only option he really had was to put Perisic, an experienced player, up front with Harry Kane because obviously Richarlison and Son obviously would be in those spots. But with Kulusevski back, I could obviously what Huss mentioned, put Perisic back other than being in the forward position.
Also, I think Sessegnon went off injured, I believe, yesterday with a hamstring scare.
Ooh.
So maybe Perisic does play as a wing back again, which I don't know if you want to own him for that. I, I'm just seeing the game where he went off yesterday because I believe he went off quite. I'm just going to see right now. So obviously Spurs lost last night, and was it Sessegnon or was it Doherty that went off? I think it was, or one of them went off. I think it was Doherty, but it was suspense. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'd go to Perisic personally, but about the captain Salah KDB. I don't think Salah's a bad captain pick this week, guys. He's got Southampton at home, so you could go to you could. There's nothing wrong with Salah captain at home, surely against Southampton in Anfield. It looks
Mm,
like he's got his form back, but Haaland is another animal this season, and he's got another easy fixture himself against Brentford. So, what would you say, Jordan? Salah captain still fine? I think it's
Uh,
fine.
yeah, I think it's fine. Why not? I mean, Salah comes off of 2 goals from the last game, where it was against Spurs. Not to mention that was a very hard fixture for Liverpool, especially the way the form has been. And in comparison now, where Salah has Southampton at home, I mean, you can well, you can really say that Salah should really get something in that game, maybe more than 2 goals, as he did score 2 against Spurs. So, I mean, well, he should get more in Southampton at home.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I agree. I think this one's for you, Jordan.
I'm a brave man. I wouldn't be able to watch. Yeah, I will be looking at that game, but I think my heart may stop at times when I ever see Haaland have the ball. But I'm going to hope and pray, Nanje, when I watch that Man City game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, but yeah, um, but yeah, that's out the way. That comment. Which one? I think I missed a few comments. No, I haven't. I got animations here. Sorry. Hey lads, you good? Only thinking about taking Foden out for a punt like Trossard, but gonna wait to see if we get early team news. Now, I wouldn't be taking Foden out at all if I'm honest. I think Foden's a great pick this week, and I think I wish I had Foden in my team this week. Um, if you hear he starts, of course. So hopefully we hear some early team news. If we do, and we hear Foden starting, I'll definitely keep Foden for sure. Hamza, will Justin start? Had to put him on for Delo, only decent defender I have on the bench. Sorry to say, Hamza, if you haven't seen the news, Justin is out for the rest of the season. So he will be, he has an Achilles injury. Brendan Rodgers has confirmed. And yeah, he's out. So you'll have to transfer him out, or hopefully you've got someone else on the bench that can cover him instead, because he won't be playing in game week 16. Just want to say as well, guys, if you haven't already, do please drop a like on the video if you can. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, Perisic was an interesting one. Going back to Perisic, actually, yeah, I was actually thinking about Perisic personally. After when I was watching the Liverpool game, um, when I saw the lineup and Perisic was playing pretty much as a false nine type, next to Harry Kane, I was thinking maybe I can bring him in, but I don't think he plays out of position again, guys, as we've said. So Kulusevski, if you want Tottenham, I would definitely prefer Kulusevski for a 1 week punt if I was picking any player out of Tottenham right now. So that's my thoughts on that. Um, Hamza says Nico Williams will have to do. Who does Nico have?
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, if he starts, you never know. But
Yeah,
I was rather unfortunate that Justin's out.
Yes, it's either Nico Williams or Aurea that starts, so it all depends what the manager chooses.
Yeah, I guess so. Not sure what to do then. My team looks good, so maybe I strengthen the bench, but who knows? No, I mean, there's not much point strengthening the bench, because obviously we get unlimited transfers after game week 16 because of the World Cup. So I don't know, if your team looks perfect, maybe you just burn a transfer, but surely this must be something you want to do. Maybe your goalie, maybe change your goalie out and bring in someone like Allison or someone, if you can, who has potentially a clean sheet in him. But yeah, there's no point strengthening your bench, as in, because obviously next week we get unlimited transfers again. Well, game week 17, I should say. But that is a while away. What were you going to say, Jordan?
I was just thinking you could do it for a price rise on a player that's about to rise in price, but then again, it won't really matter much because you'd have to get 0.2 to make it really count instead of 0.1.
Also, I was going to mention as well, for those that haven't seen it, FPL have actually announced that after game week 16, so on Saturday, the prices for players will actually be frozen, and that will be to the World Cup on Saturday deadline. So there will be no player price rises or price falls throughout the World Cup. So don't worry, guys, about trying to bring players in and take players out. The price rises have been fixed, and there won't be no player rises or falls in World Cup, which is good. I expected that from FPL, because that would have been a bit strange if they didn't do that. But yeah, lucky for us. Felix Fleming, welcome to the channel. Hey fellas, thinking of taking Bowen out. Got 0.3 million in the bank. Any ideas? Also, do you reckon I start Gurhey or Eze this week? Have Patterson as well, but sometimes Coleman starts ahead of him. Nice question.
Yeah.
Bowen out is interesting because I know he's got a fixture against Leicester at home. Me personally, if I was going to do Bowen out, I would be tempted to do Kulusevski. You could get to that, right? Bowen to Kulusevski. Or because what's Bowen's price? Around 8 million, isn't he?
He's 8.1.
Yeah, so Kulusevski around the same price.
Yeah,
so, is it? Sorry, what was that?
Kulusevski's 8 million.
8 million, yeah. So Bowen to Kulusevski is one I do like. Also, as I've mentioned on the stream, Foden is another one. If I hear Foden starts, I think Foden might be a better pick than Kulusevski. But with the 3 benchings in a row for Foden, there is that worry there. But as I said, you'll have to wait for leaks and rumors, and hopefully we get early team news on that front. Also, would you start Gurhi or Eze, Jordan, this week? Eze, sorry.
Oh, definitely Eze this week. With
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest away, you want to start the attacker over the defender very
Mm,
much because Crystal Palace haven't really kept many clean sheets. So I wouldn't be completely confident that they can against Nottingham Forest
yeah.
because they can easily score a goal behind Crystal Palace's defence. So I would definitely start Eze.
Oh, he's got triple city. So Kulusevski, if if you haven't got Kulusevski, I'm assuming you don't. He's got Leeds at home, and he was looking quite good when he came on. When he came on against Liverpool, very quickly had an impact, and he got the assist for the Kane goal. And I do like him a lot, and he makes a big difference to that front three for Spurs, and he's a big player for them. So as a 1 week punt at 3.8% ownership, I think he could be quite good. Cancelo is meant to be serving a match ban, right? So no, Cancelo got a red card last week, but he only got the 1 match suspension due to it not being violent conduct. So he missed the game yesterday. So Man City did play Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. So and he was suspended for that one. So Cancelo is back for game week 16, guys. Do not transfer him out. Cancelo will play in game week 16. He only had a 1 match ban and he missed it in the Carabao Cup last night. What do you think of Firmino as a 1 week punt, Jordan?
I mean, it was one of my options to pick. Actually, Firmino out of Jesus and him. I don't think it's a bad choice for 1 week punt. He hasn't had a return in a while though, Firmino, but he is expected to play obviously because there's not many options for Liverpool at the moment where they can really fill that slot. So you could possibly go for Firmino as a 1 week punt. I wouldn't put it past him for not getting anything in that game. It's the type of fixture where Firmino could potentially get a haul or a return in. So it could be one of those games where it could be nice for Firmino as a 1 week punt. I think his ownership is just below 10% as well. He's like 9.9% owned. So
7.9.
7.9. So a few people do have him in teams. So, but yeah,
I
if
mean,
you feel like Firmino will get something in the Southampton game, then Jay, I wouldn't look past it.
I was also going to add, I'd prefer Darwin Núñez. I know Darwin Núñez is slightly more expensive, but if you could get Darwin Núñez in, I'd definitely prefer Darwin over Firmino. I mean, Firmino hasn't actually got a goal since game week 10. So in the last 5 game weeks, Firmino has blanked. So maybe that puts people off. I don't know. But watching Liverpool play, obviously as a Liverpool fan myself, Firmino, when Núñez and Salah both play, they are getting more of the chances, and Firmino's a bit more withdrawn now that Núñez is starting. If Núñez wasn't going to play, then I think Firmino becomes a lot of a better option. But with Núñez in the side, Firmino isn't as attractive for me personally. But if you can't get to it, if you can't stretch the budget and get to Darwin, then I don't see why going Firmino is bad. But I'd probably prefer Jesus if I had to pick that £8 million spot. I think I'd prefer Jesus over Firmino this week. Trossard to Kulusevski, worth it in your opinion, Jordan?
Yeah, definitely worth it. I would want Kulusevski in my team if I could get to him. So yeah, FPL Boo. I think it is worth it.
Yeah, could be. Trossard also has a nice fixture as well against Aston Villa. So, but yeah, we said Kulusevski. We do like him as a pick this week. But I also like Trossard as a pick this week. So
I'd also
yeah.
like Kulusevski for the rank gain as well.
Yeah, he's a differential. Obviously, low ownership. His ownership will go up, I think, from now till the deadline. But just putting it out there, he is a good move, as Felix also says he's in his plans. Last question: I have Ward, Patterson, Gurhi, and Longstaff on my bench now. Possible bench boost? Nah, I'd probably save the bench boost if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Ward has West Ham. Patterson has Bournemouth, so could be good. And Gurhi has who does Gurhi have again?
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. And Longstaff, does he even start?
That's
Or
Chelsea.
Chelsea? I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I'd probably save the bench boost. I think better weeks. There'll be better opportunities to use it. I think.
Yeah.
Can't get to Darwin as well. But yeah, if anyone's got any more comments regarding their team for Game Week 16 or anything they want to ask us, do drop in the comments. And as always, guys, if you haven't, please do drop a like. It's free and it helps the channel out massively. So do drop the like and please subscribe as well if you haven't. And I just want to shout out to a couple of new subscribers we've just had off the stream. So thank you guys for subscribing. And yeah, anything else you want to talk about, Jordan? Maybe like a little anything else for Game Week 16? I mean, we spoke about punts. Obviously, we said Kulusevski,
Yeah.
Mitoma. Anything else interesting that we got? Any other players on your mind?
There is one. Callum Wilson one is interesting because he is flagged, but he's flagged for illness, which I thought it was because of injury. But when Gareth Southgate's obviously the England squad was confirmed, he is part of it. So I don't believe Callum Wilson is actually injured. I think he's just ill. So he could possibly be a potential pick for the Chelsea home fixture, which may be underlooked because it is Chelsea. But the way Chelsea have been the past few games, they don't look great at all. And Newcastle, on the other hand, have looked like the greater team. So will Callum Wilson potentially be a good pick for the last game week against Chelsea at home if he is going to play in that game?
Yeah, I mean Callum Wilson, he got subbed off, didn't he, in the last game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at Eddie Howe's comments with his yesterday. So Callum Wilson Callum Wilson. Eddie Howe said this on Callum Wilson. Callum, I didn't want to risk in the Crystal Palace game in the AFL Cup. Obviously, we know Newcastle went through with this illness. He should be fine to play against Chelsea. So yeah, he's fine to play against Chelsea. So whether you think he's a good pick or not, he probably is a good pick. You know, the way Chelsea are playing, you never know.
Yeah, you never know with the way Newcastle have been. They've been absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Newcastle looking very impressive at this moment in time, and they could be going into the second half of the season while in the top four. I'm doing good in my rank, but my team value is really low. Should that be something I worry about? No, I wouldn't worry about team value at all. Just play your normal game, and I wouldn't be focused on team value. If you're doing well, then your team value will naturally be high anyway. So
yeah,
that's the way the kind of FPL kind of works. When you're doing well, you've probably bought in players and benefited from the price rises early. So, for example, Trippier started the game, I believe, at 5 million.
Yeah.
Now he's at 6 million. So if you bought him in early, it means you've done well, and also means obviously you've had the price rises. So now I wouldn't worry about price rises. And with the pricing this year, a lot of the players what we want are actually pretty cheap. Now, all the good players that that are must-haves. You look at Almiron and all these players that are doing well. They're not your Salahs and 13 million players. So now I wouldn't worry about that at all. Yeah, but we probably will wrap it up here for the stream. When are we next back for the stream? We're back on deadline stream, obviously, aren't we? And that's on Saturday, I believe. Early deadline, isn't it, this week?
Yeah, very
11.
early deadline.
Okay, so just want to say, guys, we are back on Saturday. At obviously deadline's at 11 a.m. But we will be streaming at 9:30 in the morning, so 9:30 UK time. We will be streaming again, so do join us Saturday 9:30, where we're going to be streaming for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before game week 16 finishes. And also, I do want to mention we will be playing Fantasy World Cup. So for those that don't know, it is basically fantasy football, but for the World Cup, and we will be making content on it as well during the World Cup period. So if you do want to watch that, do subscribe and do let us know if that's something you want to see. But we will be making content on that. If you have any specific ideas, do let us know in the chat as well. But yeah, that should be fun, and hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. But I'm excited for it, World Cup fantasy football, and we will have videos out as soon as game week 16 ends. We'll do the World Cup content, and then we'll be back to FPL around Boxing Day, I think, when it kicks off again, just after Boxing Day. So break, but we will still be releasing content on the World Cup. Ikem says, come tomorrow. Yeah, no stream tomorrow. Oh, yeah, we'd love to. And Nanjo says, good luck, guys. Thanks. You. But yeah, guys, that has been it from the FPL Duo. We're back as always, 9:30 UK time for the deadline stream. So do join us on Saturday. But anything else you want to add, Jordan, before we do wrap it up here?
Just thank you everyone for commenting. All your comments have been very appreciated, and all the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Thank you for your support, always appreciated, and enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and obviously we'll see you Saturday morning for the deadline stream.
Okay, that's it from us. Take care, guys, and enjoy your Friday tomorrow. Take care and see you soon.
Yeah, take care, guys. See you Saturday.